So it's time. It's time to learn the top 3 neo-soul chord progressions. Let's go. And we are gonna play these 3 chord progressions finger picking on acoustic guitar using nylon strings today, because this is my newest guitar. How beautiful is it? So this, guys, is an emerald guitar, handmade in Ireland, and particularly this is the X10 Slimline nylon, because as I said, I went for nylon strings, and this finish is called Royal Ebony. But now let's get started with the lesson, and I will tell you more about this guitar later. So with these 3 chord progressions, guys, if you learn them, you will really be into R&B and neo-soul acoustic guitar. You'll be able to noodle on the sofa, or maybe impress your friends, or have some fun when you try a new guitar at the guitar store. And more importantly, you will realize that these chord progressions really apply to a bunch of neo-soul songs. So let's get started with the first chord progression, and remember that as always you will find tabs and music theory explanation on my Patreon page. So this chord progression is in the key of E minor, and it starts with a C major 7 that you guys want to play with the root on the 8th fret of the E string, with this very popular position that if you guys are familiar with this channel, you've seen me playing a lot of times. And then from here we'll be moving to a B7 sharp 5, which is an alternate dominant 7 chord, and the reason why we do so is because we can keep the top note G on fret 8 of the B string, and this creates even more tension to then release on the E minor chord that we are gonna be playing with a certain flavor that I personally love, which is the 9th. So we'll be doing an E minor 9. So the C major 7, as we said, root on the 8th fret of the E string. When we move to the 7th fret, we can find the B to play a B7 sharp 5, and make sure that you've got this 3 and 4, on the 8th fret of the G and B strings, and then you get to this E minor 9 that you play with the root note on fret 7 of the A string. Then you stretch your first finger here, and you've got 3 and 4 on the 7th fret on the G and B strings. The pinky is playing the 9th, which is gonna give you this beautiful color. I play these chords with single note arpeggios, going from the lowest sound to the top and then coming back of a couple of notes. I use thumb, index, middle and ring finger, sort of classical guitar technique really, but feel free to use any fingering for the right hand. So I do the same pattern for the C major 7 and for the B7 sharp 5. And after that I move to E minor 9. Obviously my thumb now moves to the root note on the A string. I do this once, and then I introduce a couple of diminished 7th passing chords. Again, if you guys are familiar with neo-soul and with this channel, you may have seen me playing them a lot. I first play an F diminished 7, so now the root is on fret 8 of the A string, and I go 2, 3, 1, 4. If you guys have never played this position before, make sure that you become familiar with this shape, because this is a shape that we'll be using a lot in neo-soul. And then because this chord, as any diminished 7 chord, can be moved by 3 half steps and you're still playing the same chord, I move it to an A flat or G sharp. Diminished 7 chord, so now it is the same position, but the root, the 2nd finger, is on fret 11 of the A string. Okay, and I like to do this. Okay, so I play a 4-note arpeggio on the first diminished 7, and then I slide my fingers to the next diminished 7 chord. And then I resume from C major 7, but the second time I simply stay twice on the E minor 9. I don't like to play the diminished 7th too often. So if we play the whole thing nice and slow, it would be something like... As always, remember, the tab is available on my Patreon page, together with the full music theory analysis showing you the key and the chord numbers for each chord progression. But now guys, before exploring the next chord progression, I'm sure that you want to know more about this guitar that I'm playing today. So as I said, this is an Emerald guitar. It's handmade in Ireland. Particularly, this is an X10 slimline with nylon strings. I really wanted to get nylon strings for this guitar because I wanted to deliver that sort of R&B neo-soul 90s vibe or early 2000 vibe, and I'm very impressed with this guitar. I really love it. It is made of carbon fiber, it is low weight, we're talking about 1.8 kilos or 4 pounds. It really feels light when you take it out of the case, when you grab it the first time. And if you guys follow me, you know that I've been playing quite a few carbon fiber guitars over the last few years, but this has really something special. The feeling that you get with all of this carbon fiber, particularly at the back, on the neck, for the back of the headstock as well, is really something that connects the guitar world with aerospace and possibly Formula 1. I'm a huge Formula 1 fan. Now, one of the most unique features that I'm sure that you've already noticed is this sound hole. Now, this is a completely new concept because it projects the sound towards the player, delivering a completely new sound experience. And I always say to anyone that when you play a regular acoustic guitar where the sound hole is here, the projection of the sound is so much in this direction that when you play it, you don't really hear the full sound of the guitar that you're playing. So when I saw this thing, I was like, oh my god, this looks like exactly what I've been looking for years. So it is one piece carbon fiber, it is one piece molding process really. Obviously being carbon fiber means it is weather resistant and it will stay in tune. No matter what, it will make easy to travel with it. As you already heard, it really has a very warm tone and an incredible playability. It really feels super comfortable to play. It has 22 frets, making a really easy access to this part of the fretboard, particularly if you play your neo-soul moves. There is a gorgeous handcrafted carbon tie bridge, and this guitar comes equipped with the LR Baggs Element piezo pickups. The scale for this guitar is 25.5 inches and it comes with a phenomenal hard case, which I was very impressed by when I unboxed it. So I got this guitar for traveling, for gigs abroad, and also for content creation when I'm traveling, because it is a light guitar and it is very resistant. It's gonna be very easy to travel with, and I'm gonna have a guitar that really sounds amazing. And I mean, the look, it's really incredible. So you guys need to check out Emerald Guitars and see what incredible things they make, including this harp guitar and the guitar for this guy here. As I said, this is completely handcrafted and it is thought for the player. You can find a link in the description below to check out their stock, or you can actually build your dream guitar yourself with their 3D builder. I asked the founder how long it takes to make these custom orders, roughly 2 months, and I was very surprised because if you know anything about custom guitars, you know that 2 months is a very short time to receive your dream guitar home. So thanks Emerald for this guitar and for supporting this channel, and now let's get back to the lesson. So this second chord progression is in the key of D major and it is in 6/8 time. We start with a D major 7, where we basically do this thing of plucking the chord all together and then plucking it again, but with a staccato feel, so very short, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. You apply the same feel to all of the other chords. As you saw, the second chord is an A minor, which I like to play this way, but you guys feel free to play it in any other chord position. Then I move to a G major 7, and finally to a C9. This, guys, is a C dominant 7th, extended to the 9th, and then when I stretch my pinky here, I'm basically getting the 13th, so this becomes a C9 13. So all together, nice and slow, it goes this way. Obviously, feel free to apply your vibe to it if you want to play some single note arpeggios as I was doing, or maybe some ghost notes, feel free to do it. As I said, the tab is going to be available on my Patreon page, together with the explanation of why this chord progression is in D major. And the only other thing that I want to point out is that on the A-7, obviously I was doing the minor 9 neo-soul move, which is a signature move of this style, and all I do a bar of 4 strings on fret 5 with my first finger, and then I hammer on the 9th with my pinky on fret 7. So, okay, and I like to strum it with my thumb when I do so. Right, now the third and final neo-soul chord progression that you guys must know will involve pinky hammer-ons, another signature move of neo-soul and R&B guitar. So we are gonna do this in the key of D minor, starting with a D-7 with single note arpeggios, and this melody going on between the 9th and the flat 3 of the chord, i.e. delaying the second finger on the second string and getting this. As usual, I go all the way up and then 2 notes backwards in my arpeggio pattern. Then on the A-7 I like to do this. So I like to do a hammer-on of my pinky on the G string, getting a sort of sus4 or 11th vibe. Then on the G-7 I do it as well, but I continue with my arpeggio, and then I do a very quick 4-note arpeggio on the G-7 and 4-note arpeggio on the A-7 to resume. So all together it goes like this. As I said, guys, all of the tabs are on my Patreon page. The link is in the description below. If you have enjoyed this lesson, you can show your support by making sure to subscribe to this channel and like this video. And check out the links below to learn more about Emerald guitars.